Alright, YouTubers, so in this video we're going to talk about building a pretty badass gaming rig for around $500. I think this is slightly over $500, but there's a couple places where we could skimp on things and get that down to $500. Alright, so first thing we're going to start with is this is basically an 8th gen build. We could go back and do a 7th gen, possibly getting the price lower, possibly not. So starts with the Gigabyte H310M Micro ATX motherboard. This is a 8th gen motherboard, even though you don't see Z370 in the title. If you read up on this, it is 8th gen. Supports HDMI 1.4, DDR4 RAM, of course, and has a spot for M2 SSD. That's a good thing to have for the future. But considering we're trying to do this the budget route, we are kind of going in a different route with this solid state drive to start. For a CPU processor, selected the Intel Core i3 8350 Kilo. This has 6 cores, up to 4 gigahertz unlocked. This thing's a freaking monster, people. Don't be scared by the i3, alright? 8th gen i3s are freaking ridiculous. And this thing, if you look at the scores it provides, it is a very high rank processor. It surpasses a lot of the 7th gen i5s and even I believe some of the 8th gen i5s. So don't kid yourself, this thing is ready for battle. $169 for that. This is one place where if you were going to skimp, you could go with saving $66. This would get it under $500. Go with the Intel Pentium Gold G5600. There's a lot of info out there, and personally on this channel and my other channel, or channels, but specifically the Dave Noble channel that I have, David Noble, most popular David Noble on the YouTube. You will see that I have done quite a few reviews. You can actually do 4K gaming with an Intel Pentium chip. Alright, people. This is 8th gen, even better than the one I have. I did it for a 7th gen. Got gaming scores in the 30% for the CPU benchmark. That is enough to run 4K gaming at a low to mid setting. Obviously with the i3 in here and the graphics card that I'm going to suggest, you will be able to run high settings 4K. Maybe not ultra, but you'll be up there. The thing I did was with a Pentium and a GTX 1050 Ti and was able to achieve that. Alright, so there's a CPU. Suggest this one if you have to skimp. Not too bad to go to this one. The 8100 is somewhere another option. i3 8100 is between this chip and that chip for power, but this is almost in another league. Okay. To save money, I've selected a Silicon Power 240 gig SSD solid state drive. This isn't the best one out there. It is the cheapest though for 240 gigs. As you'll see in my other videos, I do not recommend 120 gig solid state drive. Reasoning for that is just not enough space on it. If you have a operating system, which you most likely have, right? That takes up about 30 gigs. One good game is at least 60 gigs. So right there you have almost nothing left. If you happen to have Microsoft Office on there as well, now you have no space. So you could only play with one game. That means you'll have to have a mechanical hard drive as a backup or another solid state. So 240 gigs gives you the opportunity to at least have a let's say 3 games on there. So that's a minimum. RAM, here's also another minimum. 4 gigs is not going to cut it, people. You got to go with at least 8 gigs, preferably 16. 12 to 16, I should say. This is Patriot RAM, 288 pin, 2400 megahertz. There's faster stuff out there, but this is good enough for most of you. $58. If you had extra money, you might want to put it into the RAM or the solid state drive. Now for a case, I have selected this, and this is more on the price and my experience. Rosewell makes pretty good cases. Micro ATX. This might be another place where you want to go mid-tower just to have more space. But since we selected a Micro ATX motherboard, which those will fit in mid-towers, we went with this one. And this one is decent, comes with the fan, so you save some money right there. So $17.99, free shipping, not a bad deal at all. Power supply, this is another place where we're going lowest. You may want to go higher on here. Probably need at least 500 watts for most good gaming rigs, especially if you're going to go higher than the graphics card that I suggest. But this was $24.99 right now on sale, so that's a pretty good price. Now for the graphics card, honestly, most people don't really need more than a 1060. All right, this is 3 gig version. If you got a little more money, get the 6 gig. You will see outstanding performance, and definitely with this setup, you will be able to do 4K gaming at a decent resolution that will make you happy. At least for the games I played. Doesn't mean that there will be stuff in the future that will bog down and this stuff will not be able to handle it. But for right now, the stuff I have seen, this works pretty good. So, grand total there, $558. If you went with the Intel Pentium, which, you know, later you could sell on eBay, to be honest with you, and at least get $50 to $60 for that chip. But you say you will get under $500 if you skimp on that chip. Now, all this stuff, a lot of this stuff could be had on eBay. I doubt you'll find this chip on there for cheaper. You may find some better deals on solid state drives. You will not get a better deal on the case because of the shipping. Power supply, probably not. Where you're going to find a deal on eBay is probably on this graphics card. You should be able to get this graphics card below $150 and definitely below $200 for the 6 gig. Alright, well, thanks for checking out my video. There are other alternatives to this channel, but we appreciate your support. Please like, please subscribe. Well, one other thing on the graphics card, there are some other alternatives from AMD that would be quite competitive and give you good graphics. The AMD RX 580, which I believe is actually cheaper than this, or the 570, or other options that you might want to go with. Thanks for checking out my video. Please like, please subscribe.